Paddy, I know that a lot of people this summer have had experience that they probably wish they could have avoided in cleaning up basements, pumping water out, installing in sump pumps, and you're here to tell us how we can avoid that whole rigmarole.
Absolutely. The biggest problem with flooding anywhere is improper grading around your house. Now, when we talk about grade, that means the slope of your lawn to your house ratio.
Okay.
If it's sloping into the house, you got a problem. We got a picture, if we can bring it up. I'm not sure if we can bring it up here.
Sure we can. Yeah, so this is an example of good or bad?
This is bad. You can't really tell the angle, but you can see that the grass is sloping towards the house.
Right.
And you can see that the hanger on the bottom of that step is exposed. Now that grass should be up to the bottom of that step. So what's happening is when all the rains hit, and all the rains that we got this year, all that water is running towards the house. Now, you may not have a problem this year, you may not have a problem next year, but eventually you're going to have a problem because that water just sits there and it runs down the sides of your house against your walls, and eventually it's going to find a way into your house.
Well, let's say that there hasn't been flooding at the same time, though. People have seen the water building up. It might be a blessing in disguise because now they've got some warning time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do you do?
If you've got a problem like that we showed in the picture, what you want to do is you want to build the grade up with, depending how bad it is, you can build it up with clay first and pack it so it's nice and tight. And like I say, you want to have the slope away from your house. It doesn't have to be like a drop off like a cliff. It just has to be a gradual slope away. And then you want to dress it with topsoil like this, and then you can resod or do whatever you want to do.
So you've got the clay here.
No, this is actually road crush. I didn't bring any clay with me, just the topsoil.
Okay.
So what you would do with this is if you've got a sidewalk around your house, or a patio, or unistone blocks, and they've all sunk in towards the house, you want to lift those up, put a base of road crush down like this, because this packs really hard.
Okay.
And then you want to put your blocks back down. Again, the same thing, sloping away from the house.
Okay, and what do you have the stones in here, the pebbles?
Okay, the stones, we're going to talk about window wells. If we want to come over here, we'll explain how that works. Window wells, again, are another problem. I brought in a pseudo window, if you will.
Let's say that this is the window frame. Okay.
Okay. You can see that this is about 3 or 4 inches from the bottom, from the top of the window to the top of the window well. That's kind of what you want. If this was up to the top of here, then you'd have a problem because obviously your grade's wrong.
Well, let's say that again. If the window well is up to the top of the window, you got a problem.
Yes, because now your water's going to run into the window. This isn't serving its purpose.
Of course.
So what you want to do is if you got a window well like this and then there's your window, you're going to build your soil up to like this and then you're going to drain it away.
Okay.
Okay. If you've got a serious problem and you've got to dig up your yard, make sure that when they put window wells back in, if they will have to go right down to the weeping tile if it's that serious, this should actually be in your window well. This will go inside your window well right to the bottom, and that'll hook to your weeping tile that runs around the house.
This pipe here.
That piece of weeping tile,
okay.
And then that whole pipe would be filled with this washed rock.
Okay.
And that would cause that'll let the water drain into the pipe and down into the weeping tile around your basement, and problem solved.
I know that a lot of people don't realize that they've got a problem until it's too late. And,
yes.
And a lot of the sources of these, as I understand them, are the cracks or the fissures in the actual foundation.
Like I was saying earlier, that water eventually is going to find its way into your basement. If you do get flooding in your basement, a lot of houses this year that I've already looked at, they've had severe flooding, like it's just pouring in because of all the heavy rains we've had. If you do have that problem, people have finished basements and they've got carpet everywhere and they've done all the walls and everything's done. They don't want to tear it apart because they've put so much work into it. That's the absolute worst thing you can do. As soon as you get water in your basement, tear your carpets up. Get a blower in there, get a shop vac in there, suck all that water out of there, because what's going to happen, and again, behind the walls. You got your walls finished, you know there's water back there. Well, maybe if I leave it, it'll dry out and it'll be okay. No, once that water's behind there, that insulation's wet, it's cold, it's damp, it's dark back there, it's going to cause mold. So
now you're talking serious health issues.
Absolutely. You've got to tear the carpet up, let it dry. It doesn't ruin the carpet, you can put it back down, but you want to get that moisture out of there because it's not trapped. Get the drywall off the walls, get the insulation out of there, let it dry. You can put the insulation and new drywall back up. A lot cheaper than, like you say, causing health problems.
So don't be afraid to sacrifice a little bit of drywall to cut to the source of the problem.
Absolutely. Get that moisture out of there.
Okay.
And bottom line is, get the moisture away from your foundation. That's the key. And if, fix all your grades, get your downspout extenders like this, get the water away from your house, out somewhere where the trees will drink it up or whatever the case may be.
You know, we're just in a new place, as you know, and I'll tell you, during some of those big rainstorms, one of the most valuable moves that we made was to put on a raincoat and actually go out and watch the drain pipes and how they worked. We saw a couple compromised areas, and we're sure to get on it quick.
Make sure they're not plugged. Get up there on a ladder.
Great to see you. Thanks, Paddy.